So you see what ENES KANTER had to say, right? You see how much of a mess this is becoming, right? And everybody want to act like, oh my goodness, we don't want to hate on trans. We don't want to hate on trans folks. That's not what that's about. Anybody who's hating on them should be ashamed of themselves. The WNBA, the NBA, and everybody else in between is absolutely right when they talk about not violating people's civil rights and liberties, not being hateful, not engaging in hate in any way, shape, form, or fashion, whether verbally, physically, or otherwise. We all know that. But what ENES KANTER is pointing to is about competition. So for somebody to transition from male to female, and for folks to act like it would be okay for them to participate in the WNBA is ridiculous. And when you have athletes from the WNBA saying that they're looking out for and speaking up on behalf of girls, because it would clearly be an unfair advantage to a trans athlete over people born female, what's the problem? What's the problem? We got to have common sense. And yes, ENES KANTER is going a bit too far, but he's right to do so to make a point. And Royce White, former NBA player, now a conservative pundit, he's right too because he's trying to make a point. Certain things are beyond ridiculous, and you got to call it out just to send the message. Do you get it now? Are you sure you want to continue this subject? Are you sure you want to continue on this path? Sure you don't want to be political pawns? Fine. Then understand that the WNBA is for girls and people born female, and leave it at that. And stop acting like you don't know. Otherwise, there'll be a lot more ENES KANTERs. And we all know y'all don't want that.
So that was Stephen A. addressing the matter going on with ENES KANTER and Royce White. And I got to say, this is some ridiculously stupid shit.
I second that. You know, you already know somebody on the conservative side paying these ass to come out here and say the shit because they trying to force the women to stand on one side or another. The problem that they having with this is you got over 70% of the women in the league is black. Over 30% of them is queer. You feel what I'm saying? So you're trying to stir up a pot of a situation that we reported last week that the Supreme Court has already made a stance on transgender, that they cannot compete with women. On top of that, various states has already created laws to where it's you can't even play. So the fact that we're having this conversation because a bunch of idiots trying to stir up some fear-mongering is asinine.
Well, it finally happened. The highly relevant, extremely likable, and very proficient pick-and-roll defender known as ENES KANTER has declared for the WNBA draft. And he is taking on the biggest issue facing this country right now, which is trans women playing in the WNBA, obviously. Much like how Trump threatened to cut funding from the NCAA if they did not enact a complete ban on trans women competing, when the NCAA president said that there were fewer than 10 trans athletes in all of the NCAA that he was aware of. That's out of more than 500,000 athletes in total. Like, it is just such a non-issue. These things don't even come up if they are not being used to attack trans people. It is incredible how much energy the right funnels into simply attacking trans people and their right to exist as themselves in public, in private, in every conceivable way, all the time. It is a pillar of the mission of an administration that is completely failing the country and the world across the board, but they're still gonna attack trans people.
When you're getting paid money, when you're a paid athlete in the United States, gender, you see what I'm saying? It's no question. You're either going to be a man playing amongst men or females playing amongst females. ENES KANTER and Royce White are definitely clowns for this. It's goofy.
This is the stupidest shit they've done in a minute, especially Royce White talking about he dominate the WNBA. I'm like, no, you can't. You got to fly.
I do find it a little ironic that a guy who petitioned his own basketball league to accommodate his mental health and feelings so that he'd be comfortable is now doing this. But hey, the vast majority of the WNBA still probably travels by bus and plane. You'll fit right in, bud. Just for reference, I want to point out that Royce White was drafted 16th overall, played in 3 NBA games before retiring because he is too afraid to fly. He said that airplanes were too scary and demanded to travel by bus before basically the entire league said, you stink, kick rocks. It has nothing to do with the politics. I agree with these guys. Now, I prefer to discuss it with a little more nuance, with an ounce of intelligence and maturity, unlike these bozos who just want to turn it into your cliche Fox News versus CNN, I'm gonna own the libs.
Look, yeah, exactly. He ain't. That's the reason why he ain't never played in the league, because he's scared to get on a plane.
Boy, I was thinking like that Rick Ross video last week.
Give them people back their money, Curtis.
Like, Royce, give them people back their money.
Right.
Yeah, because you done took all that money from Houston as a rookie, couldn't fly anywhere because of your anxiety, and now you want to roll with this MAGA conservative crowd and do this whole shit.
But
this whole, I ain't mean to cut you off, and this whole ass this got a 50-year ban. He can't even be around his ex-wife or his son.
Why?
Because that is abusive. He damn wife. Then on top of that, yeah. Then on top of that, they reported that he chased after his son, grabbed him around the neck, to where the judge had to come in and say he doesn't need to be around his family anymore. To where he got a 50-year ban.
I don't know.
So that just tell you all about his whole mindset from there. And then if you listen to some of his political points, he sounds stupid.
Like, I don't know whether to laugh. I don't know whether to cry, because like I've said in other videos, this league is the anything but basketball league. The storylines around this league are never about basketball. And I didn't realize what I was signing up for by covering this league to the extent that I have been covering it for the past 3 years. Like, I actually like sports. I don't want to talk about politics. I don't want to talk about drama and negativity. And it's literally, that's the thing that's in your face.
Just let you know that people will say anything. Like, this is just beyond goofiness. And you know what I'm saying? I don't even know why we give these people microphones to voice their opinions.
Well, when you got the Stephen A's and the Sophie Cunningham that's blowing it out, I mean, you got to talk about it. There's a lot
of sports pundits.
It's a lot of
Chris
sports.
Broussard.
Chris Broussard came out.
We know it's not going to happen. We know that it's not going to happen.
I get it, but we're talking about credible journalists that we've listened to
and that's
over the years. So
we know that what they're trying to do is not going to happen.
Okay, but you got a lot of people that's going to fall. They're going to drink the Kool-Aid, whether it's real or not.
It's the incel community,
right?
They want to see this happen.
Exactly. So we have to, us, the ones that know that it's not true, we have to speak up, because when you don't speak up and push back, they get louder and louder. You feel what I'm saying? We just talked about how Sophie brought this shit out of left field. She been in the league over 7 years, never talked about this, and because she was at a main event, MAGA event, got named MAGA Barbie, she stoked this shit. And because of this, everybody's pouncing on it. Stephen A., anybody who's trying to sell content is pouncing on it. Then you got political conservative hacks paying these two motherfuckers, not even in the league, to come out and challenge this shit. Mm-hmm. It's so us, who has common sense, who reads, who look at the news, we have to talk. We have to keep reminding people, like, listen, yeah, they got some stats under their names, but they stupid. And then what they're saying is not true.
This is a non-issue.
Yeah, in the Olympics and in the NCAA, you can't, it's all according to biology.
It's all already been done.
Those are the rules now.
And so now for this to become this big thing, because obviously it tests well, because obviously it does numbers online.
This is a story about engagement.
It sucks.
It really
sucks because
is.
it's exhausting, and if you discuss it at all, even to just say, hey, the WNBA is a pretty inclusive space that has a lot of trans fans, and a lot of you people who don't watch the W at all or care are coming in and claiming to want to save and protect women's sports. Meanwhile, you're making it less inclusive and less safe for trans fans. Everything that they do in these conversations is exactly that, to put you on your heels and to make a person who doesn't have time to think about this too critically to go, well, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, so this is coming off a debate over biological males competing in women's sports, which was strangely odd because there's been no trans women who have played in this league.
Not in this league, never. And will never be able to.
Exactly. So they're trying to challenge the league's collective bargaining agreement that states only players who are women are eligible to play in the WNBA without further defining the term. So I guess now what they're trying to do is pressure the WNBA to define what a woman is, yet we don't do this. Are we doing this for the NBA?
We ain't doing it for men. We ain't doing it for men because and that's the case, you can say the same thing for the men. If you're going to sit here and challenge the women's collective bargaining, then you have to do the same thing for men. And then let's just keep it 100. Everybody keep talking about let's protect women and girls, right? Then why the you don't pay them why you don't pay them the same as men? So until y'all do that, y'all just talking, blowing smoke out there.
But you say pay them like men is in
No,
the
pay
NBA
them their
athlete.
fair wages. Women don't get paid. They do the same.
Pay them the same percentage the men.
Exactly. They do the
50%.
same. They do the same job as a man and get paid less.
I know that there are going to be conservatives in America that now idolize this guy and think that it is so funny and clever and profound what he's doing. But as a normal guy, I don't care about any of this. The WNBA is one giant publicity stunt, and so is this. And so to be the guy who's like, I found a loophole that I can show the WNBA that they're being a little bit hypocritical, it's like, congratulations, dude. I don't care about anybody who plays in this league. Man, woman, dog, alien, don't care. If you think this is like a major win, cool.
The way we have it set up now, where our sports are based on gender, is the best way forward. You know what I'm saying?
Basic.
Just keep it. What is it? Keep it simple, stupid. Like, just keep it simple, stupid, and that's just that. Like, I just lost huge respect for these dudes who did this.
I never had respect for either one of them.
But whether whether you're trolling or not, for you to even make a statement like that,
if you're getting paid enough, they ain't in the league. They're getting paid enough. Yeah, they'll come out and say it. Somebody give you a couple of million just to come out here and make a statement like that. Yeah, they did it.
ENES KANTER and can't even go home to Turkey.
Right.
People don't follow Turkish politics and world politics that closely. What is it about Erdogan that you want the world to know and that you have a problem with?
So there was a big corruption scandal happened in Turkey back in 2013. He started to go around and putting innocent people in jail. I started to speak up. And the more I speak up, the more that really pissed off the Turkish government. My dad, he was one of the biggest scientists in Turkey. They fired him. My sister, she went to medical school for 6 years and she still cannot find a job. They were getting affected so much they had to put a statement out there and said, we are disowning ENES.
And banned from his own country. That's the type of rep he has around the world. That's international. But the WNBA has issued a statement. They were saying, we embrace justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. Those are the values that unite this union
Just
and
not
allow it to
penises.
protect women's sports while creating transformational change. Hate, abuse, and demonization of any person or group or people, including transgenders, only fuel fear, division, and harm. We will continue to have hard conversations, but we will not be used as political pawns. So
Too late.
yeah, I mean, that is a
That's
little
way
too late
too
there.
late. The WNBA is the most politicized league right now that there is.
The problem is all these losers who keep trying to make statements off the backs of these women, like Riley Gaines. She keeps popping up. That's the person who lost to Leah Thomas, the male or transgender female swimmer.
Yeah.
But she placed 5th. So she's trying to act like if it wasn't for this dude, I would have won, when in actuality, you would have never won against the women who were competing, but you're walking around like you're a victim. That's why she keeps popping up. Mediocre athletes have to do shit like this to keep their name. Royce White, mediocre athlete.
The DEI version.
Yeah, ENES KANTER, mediocre athlete. Was drafted by Utah. And they wasted that pick on him.
Yeah, and Royce wasted a pick on his ass.
Yeah.
And it was just
he
tall.
was chosen 16th by the Rockets, and he couldn't play. Never played.
So again, we got people, and then when you got the pundits like Stephen A. and Chris Broussard,
yeah,
they're pushing the narrative.
All we ever do is cover everything except basketball. And it's like what are we doing? There's so much. Like, you can talk about other things. I think those are great stories. I think it shows fans who people are outside of the court. But I also think we got to keep the main thing.
Sophie got all the smoke now. Now she talking about, we'll just focus on basketball. Bitch, we was focused on basketball. You came out of left field, started talking about this shit, and it took off away from basketball, focusing on this. You're the cause of it. So stand in your shit. That's why she got clothesline today.
She got
clothesline
by Dejanay. Yeah, Dejanay must have some transgender homegirls or something.
I don't know, but she
got everything else around her.
Dejanay like, bitch.
She was uncoordinated and fouled her. That's all it was.
But in addition to this, there's just been an attack of MAGA on these women. There was also that challenge issued by that person on Twitter where they wanted to pay the Las Vegas Aces $10 million to play the high school basketball team, male basketball team of this person's choice. Did you see that bet out there?
So Clay Travis, he's the man behind Outkick. He announced today he's offering $10 million to the winner of a game of basketball between a high school boys team of his choosing and the WNBA defending champions, the Las Vegas Aces. I thought to myself, why? It's a thinly veiled sexist joke, revealing the actual truth of how he and his organization feel about women's sports. It's not about caring about them. They think women's sports are a joke.
Yeah.
I thought that was corny as shit. Just because these women have already said that their male counterparts can beat them, the same way Caitlin Clark said it like last week in her interviews.
NBA, WNBA. Well, like, I would get killed by every NBA player.
Serena Williams has admitted male tennis players can whoop their ass. So what do we need to prove at this point?
Like, you know what I'm saying?
We're
Like,
talking.
This just for the chauvinists.
like that's all it is.
But
Like,
who be pushing the narrative though?
It's the right-wing conservative media. Now we have Carlos Walker in the chat. He said, "Do you guys believe in transgender play in the WNBA?" No,
we
I
don't.
don't believe in none of that.
Again, we don't.
Hell no.
We don't.
No.
If they
No.
they should have a league for a transgender league. If
I
you-
definitely
I
agree
believe
there.
that. Race plays a lot in this shit. You got two white women that's leading this supposed to be rhythm and rhyme in the last couple of months in the W. Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham. Them two been used as Trojan horse to whatever political attack they wanted to do against the W, against women in general, women of color in general. They are using these two women for such. So anybody who's a fan, whether you a fan of theirs or a fan of the W period, or just love the sport, y'all gotta, this is where you gotta say, all right, enough is enough. Know who's starting the bullshit and why. If Sophie never said anything, will we be talking about this shit? No, we're not.
No, I think that's what it is. She put that out there. The MAGA crowd saw it as an opportunity.
They jump on it. Trojan horse.
Yes. And it's weird. Anybody can technically declare for the WNBA draft. Whether you're eligible or not is a different thing. And I also don't like the fact that Royce White is talking about putting a discrimination lawsuit together. If, you know.
goofy.
Yeah, that's a little silly.
Again, but we do, you know, people pay people to say stupid shit.
Goofy.
If ENES Kanter spent half as much time learning how to not be a liability in a pick and roll as he does being a loser right-wing grifter, he would still be in the NBA on a vet minimum contract. Get this nigga the fuck out my face, man. Why is he in my feed?
Now, Carlos is back in the chat. He said women in the WNBA want transgenders to play. Are they putting their foot in their mouth?
No, they don't want it.
I don't think women want
advocated for, a transgender to play. That's not something. See, what it really is there are a lot of people that want to challenge the WNBA's support of transgender people, and they're trying to misinterpret having them involved in the WNBA as fans or anything other than a player, and they're trying to misinterpret it and make it seem like they want to have them on the court as players. And that's not the case. The WNBA is reaching out to transgender women for fans and support, not as players, though. So I think a lot of people are purposely misconstruing their support for transgender women as, you know, like, come on in and play with us, where they're like, no, you can buy a ticket and wear a jersey and watch these girls play. We don't want you actually on the court. Maybe as a ref. I can see a transgender ref.
Look, and they need good referees. Like, if we're talking about, they need some quality referees in the dub, because the referee is really iffy at times.
Yeah, I don't think these women want to play with transgender women,
They
but
just
also
they're just speaking up for them.
But also at the same time, they don't want to say anything that's going to turn the transgender women fans off from supporting them. So of course they're going to say the necessary media, politically correct answer in terms of inclusion, but they also don't want them actually on the floor.
The grifters are trying to cause bullshit,
Exactly.
to just because you're speaking up for somebody doesn't mean I want them out there playing as well. So that's where people has to use your common sense. Because you speak up for somebody, that doesn't necessarily mean you want them, join the league. All they're doing is just speaking up for a group of people who are being marginalized. That's it.